All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for To Be Hero X, Episode 1.
Yes.
Okay, this is a new show. One we've heard, nothing about, other than check it out.
Check it out
pronto.
And apparently it looks fantastic.
Yes,
cool.
Awesome. I believe there's almost some visual similarities to Arcane.
Which is
high praise.
That is
incredibly high praise.
That's a pretty wild thing to say.
Yes. Even if it's just design choices or animation style or the art style.
Any similarities to Arcane,
we gotta check it out.
Give it to me.
But yeah, To Be Hero X. So maybe superhero kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we've watched quite a few hero shows recently, you know?
Yeah, so, we're pretty familiar.
Yeah, pretty familiar. And just in general, I would say that that's a category and a genre that's very well tread in recent years.
Especially the last 20 years. Yeah.
Yes, so it's not the kind of thing that I would expect a new property to be like, hey, let's do this, unless they really had something to say.
Unless they had something really splashy, really fun, really exciting, really thought-provoking.
Yep.
I'm very excited for this also because this is a Chinese production, so this is something where we're gonna have a whole new potential style or all kinds of other messages and themes that we could explore there than the typical Japanese anime would. Yeah, and then also just I'm really excited for some cool character designs, but maybe also a really fun world to immerse myself in.
Sure.
I think superhero stuff has a good leaning towards that.
Yeah, there's that inherent kind of okay, it's probably going to be a riff on our world. It doesn't have to be. It could be a completely made up world. But and then what kind of commentary do you get into? And the heroes being in society, all that good stuff.
Yeah. But other than that, we're Semblance of Sanity, Caleb, Jacob. We do reactions. We do all kinds of stuff like this. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and check out all of our other stuff. We do a lot of other things there. Yeah, we've got reactions to Arcane and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Check that out there. But all right. Without further ado, let's get into this.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh, damn. Oh.
Flashy.
Yes. Male starlight, you know?
Right.
Okay, you've got some ancient era iconography with
Yeah, I love the
cape.
The metal worked into the suit.
Oh. Nice. Okay, it's very Arcane kind of style, yeah. Number one hero. Nice. Wow, the gold, yeah. There he is in the background, yeah. I worked really well in this video.
Oh no.
Well.
Yeah, you're fired.
I mean, you just followed instructions, but
yeah. Oh.
You're 41 after commission. What? Popularity? Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn, I mean, you're pretty good then. Whoa.
Oh.
Wait.
Hang on.
Bro, there's so much happening right now. Bro is considering ending it all.
Right.
Basically said, fuck you to the god of heroes or what have you. He just shoves up aura farming.
Yeah.
What the hell is happening?
Wait. What?
Did he just wish for that to happen? Did he just...
What the fuck? He can fly, even if I did push him. Like...
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this isn't a dream, right? Hero Ling! Yeah. We need to know what happened. I'm in shock. Things are happening so fast.
Oh!
What do you mean brains are alive?
Yeah. Oh my god, the paint and everything. Yeah. So now he has to... Okay. Fantastic.
This is literally what he wished, though.
Uh-huh.
Someone will replace you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're dead. When did Valen die? It doesn't matter.
So what iteration of the Dread Pirate Roberts are you?
Wait, what?
Oh, shit. I think we got some, like, FF14 primals here.
Primal, yeah.
Holy shit.
No. Right.
Oh my god. I love it.
Yeah, you will actually be him. How is this possible? Well, yeah, so then you did it.
Oh my god.
You killed him then.
Oh my god. And
oh my gosh.
holy shit.
We are like 5 minutes in. I am locked in now.
Oh, hey.
Ah, it's live!
Ah!
I have a crush on her.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. A postmodern
Yes,
Wall
oh, of course. Now
But that's the thing, though. It's dictating reality by the belief of these people.
Right. Well, the thing is, because it's live, you guys are effectively playing characters right now.
Yeah, right.
So the real test will be in private.
Oh my gosh.
This is incredible.
This is in some ways really disturbing because
sure.
their lives don't have meaning, really. The meaning is inferred by their parasocial relationship with the masses.
Right.
Oh. What?
Oh my god. Oh no!
Okay. Oh my god.
The actual worst.
Yep. Total runtime? Yeah, what kind of a stupid... The hyper fan. Oh.
Right.
The idol fan. Oh,
right.
He really does genuinely love how
Well, no, not just that he's a fan.
kind of a person she is.
He specifically helps make their commercials.
Yes, right. Whoa. Whoa.
What?
A dramatic polygraph looking thing. Ah.
She is now.
Right, especially with regards to these mechanics of how, like, belief and trust shapes reality.
So take her hand, gently kiss her, and then say, of course.
My paramour. Oh! Oh!
Fantastic. Yes.
And this is his true, genuine feelings.
Right.
But it falls in line with the character. Yeah, she gave you an uplifting, like,
oh man,
oh, this is wonderful. Yeah, and then social media eats it up.
Oh, of course they do.
Oh, now you're just starting to get a little dramatic here.
Oh, you don't say. What next?
Something for him to fight? What? No way. How is it him, though?
What?
Oh. Oh my god. Well. Oh. Whoa.
Oh.
Wait,
that was
so then
beautiful.
Where's this power coming from? Because it's clearly not just the device.
It may be just the whole company. Yeah, all his employees.
Oh, here. No, it's...
Okay.
Wow. And while he's alive, he's doing all of this.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, as planned.
He's probably wanted to do that for a long time.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you do it over Zoom calls too?
Whoa. The truth. Money.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, that was a cool bit of symbolism tying with the polygraph and everything there.
Uh-huh.
Whoa!
Oh, shit!
This is a fantasy. This isn't just like a...
No. Maybe it's because you're still afraid of him.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you used to be his employee.
Right. I love it. The fists have the coin on it. Like... Yeah, there it is. There it is. The fear is coming over
Yeah,
here
yeah.
now. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow.
Cool.
Wow. Trust in yourself
Yeah, exactly.
to be able to overcome fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Oh, the impact face. God, whoa.
This life is shit.
Yeah, he shatters the coin too. Yeah. God, the shift into 2D is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, a fear value amplifier.
All right.
By the Spotlight organization.
Interesting.
Wait. Spotlight. This kind of put a spotlight on Nice.
Oh my
Hero
god.
What a crazy first episode to give us
Holy
so
shit.
much in such a tight,
Yeah.
fast-paced package.
Oh.
Oh, they've got everybody here then. So we're going to 10.
絶景だと思わない？それは本人の選択よ。
Whoa.
いつかあなたも彼と同じように選択を迫られる。
Whoa. As we ascend a tower.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah.
Feels lonely looking though. Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, you said.
Uh-huh. That's a real small blanket though.
What?
What the fuck? Holy shit! What?
Oh my god.
Okay, and the CD.
Yeah,
Fantastic, wonderful. I love it.
Probably the opening, actually.
Sure, yeah.
Oh! What? The dog?
Okay.
A noir dog?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm in. What?
The changing of art styles.
What?
Yes.
Yes!
Let's go. Holy
I'm
shit.
so in.
That was incredible.
That was wild.
That was a trip.
I'm shook.
Yeah. So, okay. All right.
Lin Ling, this is our main boy.
Yep.
But he is now nice. Mm-hmm. He is now the hero.
Yep.
Nice.
And
because he basically cursed him in the most simple way, and that, whether that was the full reason why he died or that was a piece that
right, because it doesn't have to be because it's the, on the one hand he said, you're one day gonna grow old and ugly. Well, no, he very much won't be. He's dead now. He won't be growing old, right?
Right.
But also
someone replacing him, that was what literally happened immediately after that.
Right. Exactly. So
and that could be just a dark irony of this hero world where if you're a hero, you are capable of being fully replaced because it's the belief in the icon, not in the human being that basically pilots that icon.
Right.
And we saw that literally put on display this entire episode.
Yeah.
So
this
is fascinating.
This is fascinating. I gotta say, the pacing of this episode was incredible. I don't think this kind of pacing would work in a lot of other situations, but because the whole point of it is that he's being thrown into this, he doesn't have time to breathe. Oh my God, it's happening so fast. That frenetic energy really works.
Yes.
And they're able to pack so much into here of just, establishing who he is beforehand. Awesome. Yeah, nice dying. Cool. He becomes nice. Oh, this whole twist and things. That is something where, and him showing up, to the press, I would almost expect that to be like the end of an episode 1, right?
Sure.
But then we keep going, right, to the point where we are getting into the mechanics of the powers and how it works.
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
awesome.
Trust versus fear
Trust
being
versus
something
fear.
that
Love
we
it.
have to actually manage as a PR kind of thing.
Right.
And it's also something that can both be weaponized for their own types of power. And ultimately that might be actually what powers heroes and villains in this world is basically that if you have somebody that's feared enough, they can actually gain powers.
Right.
In the same way that if someone has enough trust, which I love the idea of trust being the
opposite
choice,
of fear.
because instead of it being something like love or adoration or a form of worship, basically, it's the I have a belief that there's a genuine connection between you and me, and I would welcome you into my home. That's
right.
That's that kind of thing that makes me think of with trust, is that there's something intimate in it. And the idea that it's so packaged and presented makes it in some ways anything but trust.
So I'm gonna just go right out onto a crazy theory limb.
Yeah.
Trust and fear are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So fear is, like something bad's going to happen or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it is effectively trusting that that bad thing will happen, regardless of what the actual evidence is in the real world, right?
Yeah.
You just think, oh, this is possible, and so you're afraid of it,
Yeah.
right? But if you actually step back and think for a second, oftentimes it's completely unfounded, right? But fear doesn't necessarily care, right?
There's a certainty basically that arrests your physical body and basically makes you incapable of seeing reality properly.
Right.
Well, what do you know? We have something with regards to the way these people are absolutely fanning over their heroes to the point that they're certain about the things about them versus what's objectively being displayed in reality.
Because trust has nothing to do with actual accuracy, right? It's just the fact that that's what you think is the case. And so I love
absolutely going to be manufactured. Then.
It's absolutely going to be manufactured. It's fundamentally necessary, I would say, right? And
we in relationships build over time trust through actual intentional connection that is basically a form of manufacturing it because you desire connection.
Right, and because it's because effectively, and maybe this is going too deep on it, but because it's equally difficult, basically, then that's where there ends up, it's quid pro quo, right? Whereas if you have some media empire that's like, hey, we're gonna just brainwash the masses, we're gonna put out this, like just stuff that's going to make people generally feel this way. There's no back and forth on that, right? It's just we're invading your minds, basically. So as far as
Bo Burnham was right.
Right. And so as far as ways to give a fresh spin on heroes and things like that, where you have plenty of examples of, yes, let's the boys showing the behind the scenes of the popularity stuff and the PR, for these heroes and all that stuff, right? And it's like, yes, okay, that's great and that's terrifying and all that. But to literally have that be, no. That's how the powers work.
That is your magic system.
That is your magic system. Not just your funding system, which is also important.
Which is a whole other thing.
Your magic system.
The story did kind of tease us with a little bit, because I want to talk about some of the details with regards to the way this animation drew us to things that were outside of just the really emotive characters. Because this show blended... not really blended, but utilized 3D and 2D in many different ways here. By one, just shifting fully in between 3D and 2D. But then using the same kind of painted style that Arcane uses to a similar degree with regards to the general character models. But because of that, there's a lot of things that just kind of popped with regards to visual, like non-verbal world building cues. Like an example of this is in Nice's character design. He's iconically white and gold, showing the luxury, the power, the status basically that he has that is above everybody else. But the parts that were not white and gold were actually to do with the potential fundamental aspects
power
of
mechanics.
The power. Then also tying into his eyes being blue to match accordingly. He has a point where a fan grabs his hand, and while they're expositing about the power, what have you, it doesn't actually start from the hand touch. The bracelet on him lights up, and then channels a visual, little identifier, not to him, but again to the device, the little glass crystal core or whatever on his chest.
And so, our personal theory is just, so that's a trust amplifier, right? If there's fear amplifiers, then then that makes sense. There would be trust amplifiers, and that's a very necessary bit of world building / exposition or whatever for why people don't just develop powers all the time. Right. You have to have this kind of backing because, while you might have an immense amount of trust with a particular individual that's been built over years and years, you're not going to have that with a ton of people, right?
No,
and the kind of trust that they have might not be the same kind of, actual deep trust, foreshadowing for his power up at the end of the episode, right? Where it's the, And so we need it en masse. We need it to be, you know, like this very much feels like it's almost going into the like Monsters Inc., you know, laughs versus screams kind of thing, you know, like, like where what's more powerful and everything and all that stuff, because, oh, hey, guess what? With the entire world basically being like, oh my God, we adore you.
Yes.
You still weren't able to beat this dude. Maybe because he was specifically your boss and you were scared of him.
To put it in even like simpler terms, Nice was beloved by the world at the very beginning of this episode and committed suicide.
Yeah.
Why was that? Well, all we have to go on is the fact that our main boy here basically said, fuck you. Now, is it because he did that? And just like the assistant was saying, basically that, you know, trust can be broken with like a push of a finger.
Sure.
That might be a bit hyperbolic, basically. Yeah. But what it could be is that he was responsible by his making of these advertisements, a lot of the image of these characters, basically.
Sure.
So his trust, his actual belief in them was already really strong. So it's not just that he pushed it this way, it's that he was this way and he switched all the way. So it's that a line of that trust severed very suddenly. And it's not that it like was stronger than all the other bits of trust there, but it's that it kind of freaked out like in his actual like
I think
like mental state or something.
Well, so one of the things that could be kind of funky that the show could get into is if trust and fear and all that stuff has an effect on the world and your physical body and your abilities and things like that, right? Like, like he was able
mind over matter.
Yeah, mind over matter. He was able to drop into, okay, and now I know how to fight and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
How much does that actually have an effect on the mind itself versus just your body's physical capabilities? And
it's you know, that's equivocating.
Because the idea of if it is something where, you know, like it's not just narrative parallels, right? You know, of him basically being like, you're terrible, Nice, you know, one day, you know, you're gonna get replaced and all that stuff. And then suddenly Nice is there and he kills himself, right? Is that something, like, if we go into that actually having an effect there, then that gets especially wild given that, like, just how the power system works of people's trust being the thing that also gives you power. But then if minds can be affected based on, you know, other people's things, right? Like, that could very quickly become an Ouroboros.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, it absolutely would. And that's where you would actually need, then, in a lot of ways, artificial things to happen so that you could keep the belief or trust constantly spiking. Otherwise, you could have just moments where people are like, we're kind of losing interest, and it just crashes out on that person.
Yeah.
Which could have been what happened. Now, we have something hinted at with regards to the fear amplifiers being used in multiple attacks orchestrated by the Spotlight Organization. Cool. Which just the name Spotlight Organization itself screams all kinds of specific things there.
Yes.
But the idea that it's like, oh, no, this is actually just something that people know about feels like this is a group that what they do is they set up heroes to then be spotlighted.
Right.
And it's like, what we'll do is we'll use fear amplifiers to draw a whole bunch of it so that you can defeat it like a villain or something.
Oh,
and we'll set up artificial hero-villain fights.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's basically battle sport. And you'll defeat them, and your trust and everything will just skyrocket.
Because
and then you'll rise through the ranks and get a nice, like, big bump and everything, and all the accolades and money and yada yada.
Any kind of manipulator behavior, it's not about eliciting one thing. It's about the bait and the switch, the carrot and the stick, right?
Yeah,
you know, being able to, like, you
need a good system.
What, you're telling me that the media is trying to make people afraid? No, say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so, man.
That clearly is not something that would ever happen.
But I trust the media.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you know, so the societal commentary that we're getting in this series is fantastic. I like that it also feels like it's setting up like plot beats where like the whole idea of the Spotlight organization, it's like, oh yeah, that feels very much connected to the whole thing of them setting up these heroes, right?
Right. And this is all just within the context of this was the guy's boss who was crashing out because he was going to lose his company, basically. This contract and everything was a big part of his revenue. And so he was passing on the stress of that to his employees and drinking in basically the power that he gained from holding that sword of Damocles of, I can fire you, I can take away your livelihood. There's very, very clear commentary going on here, but the idea that then he was manipulated and encouraged to then take that and, we'll give you the convenient access to the person that has been screwing you over, or his organization by extension. And fight this god hero. Wow. It's almost like there's no way Nice could have lost here, and there's no way that there's no way they knew that this was Nice being like, switched up or what have you.
But I will say, and I don't think this necessarily tracks in because of how the episode was set up, but because I think it was the 249 guy or whatever that had the boss there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Mr. Expose,
Right. But we did have the manager basically being like, all right, end this, live broadcast or whatever. And there was just that part of me that was like, okay, or would that be the proper way to stop something like this? But it wasn't her actually doing it.
No.
So
if anything, the part where I think there's the least like conspiratorial side of things going on here is just the idea that, we're in this really crazy situation where Nice was just murked, basically.
Yeah.
And we need a person to replace him now.
Right.
Because Nice is not number 1. Nice is like number 10. And the thing is that might be his new rank because of what happened on the TV station.
Possibly.
So he might have been way lower before this. But all that being said, in the same episode, 2 heroes died within close proximity to each other relationally, but then also like within the same day, basically.
Oh yeah.
So this seems way more. We've got a Siler in our midst, or what have you.
Yes.
Someone who is maybe.
Oh yeah, just the way that her body was there and the blood and everything definitely like screamed to me like telekinesis, psychokinesis, something like that.
That's what I thought too.
Where it's the
telekinesis sawed the head off. That's how you got that much blood.
She was lying there normally, just tucking in for bed or whatever, and then attack happens literally while she's there and can't move or whatever, something, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, okay, you're dead. Now,
she could have been placed there maybe after the stuff was done there, but then the blood would have dripped through.
Right.
There's a lot of little things that make it seem like this was a supernatural attack of some kind because of the way the body was positioned and the way the blood splatter was.
To say nothing of the fact that she would have powers too, right? Like,
and we don't know how people would get powers that are unique because of the trust system. You would probably have to have devices that would be like, we funnel this trust into this aspect of your body, or we funnel this trust into this suit that you wear.
Well, and one of the things that I'm curious about, so, okay, the episode, even without the whole thing of Moon dying, fantastic episode. Moon dying
sets up the larger plot.
In a fantastic way. Right. So, already we've got scheming. Weirdly enough, the person that I trust now the most is actually his manager, because she's the one friend that he has, basically. and given that, even if like there was some orchestrating of, we want him to be set up for this whole spotlight thing or whatever, right? Sure. She has people that she answers to. She was not aware of that, right? So she is fully on your side, and you do have some suits with you. So cool, awesome, right? Moon dying. That's another thing that seems antithetical to the desires of the organization of heroes as a whole.
That's why I know it's not. It doesn't seem like it would be
because if even a single like one of these like casual murders of a hero gets out, trust in the heroes will plummet, right? Yeah. So that's all kinds of all kinds of funky.
Right. The part where I think this could be really exciting, and this is just my own thing with this here, is that the biggest decision that he made, and they made a point about how you will have a choice at one point, because that was Nice's choice that did that. They're trying to basically rule out there was no mind control, there was no something else or what have you there. But people make choices based on their environment. Environment is stronger than willpower.
Right.
That is an important thing to acknowledge, not just in this world where the environment literally dictates a lot
your
power, but that's true of the real world as well. So if his choice this episode, that was actually the most unique thing of him coming out, was actually the way in which he elevated Moon. He did the not nice thing, the thing that is not something that Nice would do. And he played not just the character, but he played the character so well because he channeled his own self into this. And he elevated her to basically his goddess. Now, I don't think that did any of this, but I think it needs to be highlighted as if his agency was involved in any of this here, we need to keep that in mind. Because this is the same guy who went and cursed Nice, but then worshipped Moon. Both of them are dead.
Right.
He is the only, like, connecting factor between those two people right
now.
The
vibe that I get from Moon's death is that if it is connected to that, is that it would effectively be the higher-ups being like, this is an unacceptable deviation.
Yeah, you are not supposed to put her above you. She's meant to support you.
Yeah, like
it doesn't make sense in that regard because he's not that big of a deal, apparently. Like he's just a really like popular hero.
Yeah.
But maybe he is for this area of the world or what have you.
Sure.
Like there are others clearly that are more popular on the world scale, and he's the equivalent #1 for this region or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot we can.
There's lots of stuff that they'll get into with this, which that'll be fun to see explored.
Yeah,
but
really fun.
Yeah.
But oh my God. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about animated shows in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.